So guys, in 6 weeks, it is the unofficial start to summer. I'm talking about Memorial Day. This year, I don't have to be in a bathing suit, but I am going to a wedding, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't exactly started trying yet to lose the last 10 pounds that I put on during pregnancy. So for today's video, I'm gonna share with you how I've lost 10 pounds in 6 weeks in the past, and cross my fingers, it works again for me so that I lose those last 10 pounds before my wedding and hopefully keep it off by the 4th of July. Not my wedding, not my wedding, I got you guys. When it comes to successfully losing weight for me, one of the things that really doesn't have an effect is exercise. I've always exercised, so when it comes time to losing weight, whether I exercise more or less, it doesn't really affect the equation. Of course, I can't not work out anymore, but the point of me telling you this is if you're trying to lose weight and you think exercising is going to solve all your problems, it's not. It's about your diet. So when it comes to your diet, things that help is drinking plenty of water. I try to drink at least half of my body weight in ounces a day of water. And I like to start it with warm water and lemon, sometimes a little apple cider vinegar. And as a breakfast, after that warm water with lemon, I make sure that it is high in protein, whether it's a protein pancake or an omelet. It is something that is jam-packed with protein, at least 15 grams, and it's not just plain oatmeal. If I'm gonna have oatmeal, there's gonna be some protein in with that, like eggs or protein powder. I make sure that I do not go extremely long periods without eating because then I'm starving and I'll eat whatever you put in front of me. Now, one food I have found to be really helpful between breakfast and lunch is the grapefruit. For some reason, when I have grapefruit as a snack between breakfast and lunch, I seem to not be as hungry when lunchtime rolls around, or maybe if I would have been hungry at like noon, if I have a grapefruit, that will go until like 1 o'clock when I really need to eat something, and still I'm not starving. I don't know what it is, but it works for me and it might work for you. Now, instead of telling you guys what to eat for lunch, that's not what I wanted to do in this video. I wanted to give you tips that you can actually use. And for me, writing down how many calories you eat is kind of a pain in the butt. It does work to an extent, but instead of writing down the calories, I'm just gonna recommend writing down everything that you eat. If you have 3 instead of 2 cookies, maybe as a treat, write it down. Do not lie to yourself. When you have to be held accountable, that's when you actually change your behaviors. So if you're only being held accountable by your own notebook, nobody else is seeing it, then it kind of allows you to have a little bit of wiggle room freedom, but at the end, you're gonna see where your trouble is. So if it's that afternoon cookie splurge, if that's where you're really adding in some empty calories, you'll know to drink a lot of water right after lunch or to have healthier snack options on hand. So I highly recommend writing down everything you eat, even if you're not even keeping track of the calories. When it comes to dinner and I'm trying to lose weight, I really stick with boring dinners. I have a lean protein and I do a lot of vegetables. I try to minimize the amount of carbs that I do eat at night, but I'll do something like a half a cup of quinoa or a half of a sweet potato, but I really focus on just kind of boring recipes that I know how to make. I mean, they're not even recipes really at all. Grilled chicken, baked fish, steak, something that's easy, doesn't require a lot of thought, because I find when you have recipes with a ton of ingredients, you don't make them. You make what's easy, you make what you know, so that's what I do when I need to lose weight. And now that I'm a new mom, I'm not gonna lie, I've been wanting a glass of wine almost every night with dinner. I was never like this before. But when I successfully lost weight in the past, I did not have these glasses of wine. So that is gonna be a challenge for me. That's probably gonna be the hardest part of this whole challenge, is not having a nightly glass of wine, because having a newborn is a little stressful, and that glass of wine helps me go to sleep a little bit quicker at night. So I'm not gonna be drinking alcohol for these 6 weeks, but I will during Memorial Day. And you guys know I have a sweet tooth. So when I'm trying to lose weight, sometimes that sweet tooth creeps back up and it is louder than ever. So I just make sure that I have things on hand that will satisfy it, that aren't gonna ruin what I've done during the day, because there's nothing worse than eating clean and exercising all day to then just at 8 o'clock have, like, you know, a Ben & Jerry's pint or quart or however big those things are, I don't even know. So I have things on hand. I love ginger chews. They're individually packaged. I also am a big fan of doing frozen fruit, like the frozen banana soft serve. I'll also do some nuts or like a scoop of peanut butter. And if I'm going really crazy, I'll mix a little bit of peanut butter, a little bit of almond milk, and some protein powder. And like that stevia, that natural sweetness kind of satisfies my sweet tooth because it tastes almost like a fudge. Another secret weapon is reducing caffeine or going caffeine free. I don't know what it is, but it's worked for me. I think caffeine might kind of play with your energy levels and your blood sugar. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find a ton of results. I'm just telling you what worked for me. I don't want to get into the science of it all, but reducing or cutting out caffeine also has helped me lose weight. And lastly, I don't like to count how many calories I eat because it's a pain in the butt. I like to go to a salad bar and I pick the grilled vegetables. You know, I eat things that I know are safe and clean, but I don't want to just think about counting them. It's such a pain in the butt. So I really just try to eat real foods so that I know what's in them. I'm not gonna eat something that's crazy packaged, you know, a cookie at the store. You don't know how many calories are in that if it's fresh baked because it doesn't have a nutritional facts. But in my head, I'm trying to stay in between 1,600 and 1,800 when I'm trying to lose weight. Since I'm breastfeeding, those calories are going to be more for me right now, but I'm assuming most of you guys watching this aren't breastfeeding. So what you can do is you can go to the calculator down below this video, and it will give you a good estimate of calories that you want to stay in. You don't want to go too low. You don't want to go to 1,200 because then your body's going to be in starvation mode and you're not going to lose any weight. But obviously you don't want to go too high because then you aren't going to lose any weight either. So it's finding that middle ground, that middle balance. And for me, not breastfeeding, it's about 1,600 to 1,800 calories. Now that I'm breastfeeding, it's going to be about 2,000 calories. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you can apply some of these tips to your own diet for these next 6 weeks. This is what I'm going to be doing. They're simple. They're things that you can continue doing after Memorial Day. And I really think that they're going to work for you guys because they worked for me. Let's hope that having a baby and age is not going to affect how I lost weight before and I can still do it. Well, you guys will know because I'll be sharing my updates on Snapchat. I'm on Snapchat now. So go follow me, official SFit. I'll see you guys soon.